morning. I hope everyone is well and ready to start the day. I love it when I send myself a notification and then I'm like, oh, I got a notification. It came from me, obviously. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I forgot. Look better in a hat. Gotta keep it up. Have we talked about the idea that one of these days I'm gonna get hair? I've been debating on getting a rug, and if it's gonna be like based on what I look like, I need to get one for just to wear on stream. Be like, oh wow, you're bald in real life, but you wear a wig for stream. Ah! I wonder how many people that would disenfranchise. They all think that YouTubers are 100% real. Every time I watch one of those videos of the guy playing the piano in the airport and some random violinist walks up and you're like, that was not. Everybody's like, oh wow, just a random. They just rapidly play. No, y'all obviously played together and staged it. Obviously. Hey Silver, how's it going? Good morning. Good morning. I got a little bit of a late start today because I started my first batch of sourdough bread. I finally got a starter from one of my mom's friends. So I'm going to start making my own sourdough. Which, making bread is not that abnormal to me. I've made bread. I always make my own bread. I think it's healthier. And for the amount of time it takes to make, bread, it's not that serious. I don't know why everybody freaks out about that. If you just use instant yeast, you can make bread in like an hour. Just requires a little bit of forethought. Man, it's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? I'm trying to pack a joint, and it clearly is not going expected. Because I had one big lump nugget that just fell right in it. What is your normal daily routine, Silver? You get up and have a cup of coffee and eat breakfast and then just head off to work. I struggle with making a routine. I think the stream is helping me, and maybe even like the morning meeting that I'm not obligated to go to, but I get a notification of like every day. Hey, this is happening. I'm like, okay. Might as well. I'm awake. That's what's important, is that we are awake. It's kind of a deep thought. Like, are we awake? I know, we were here yesterday when we were talking about how life is a simulation. And I often wonder, when I'm out there farming my crops, which big giant being in the sky has assigned me to farmer. Like, oh. Just my lot in life. I will say, the YouTube videos are taking off. I'm kind of impressed, to be fair. My shorts are doing well, but I don't know what that turns into. Here's today's. Whoops.
Tomatoes.
Pause.
Cucumbers. Peppers. Don't forget
Switch
to like,
to the
subscribe,
correct
and follow
screen.
for more. I'll keep making them if y'all keep liking them. Tomatoes.
Make sure I like my own video.
Peppers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more. I'll keep making them if y'all keep liking them. Tomatoes. Cucumbers.
But yeah, the garden tours are up.
Wow, you can really dance.
And apparently
Well,
I'm... Oh, I love how it just goes through scrolls. Like, I was so excited yesterday when I was just scrolling through my phone and my own YouTube came up. I was like, oh, yay!
I'll keep making
Yay! I was excited for that. To see my own YouTube come up like it was just a normal everybody else's YouTube. I was like, oh, that's sweet. Cool. all. Wonder where Mr. HK is today. Maybe he went to bed early. Maybe he's in a raid. Ooh. Okay, I have this joint thing that makes 6 joints at a time, or you can make 1 at a time. I bought it because I occasionally have to make a lot of joints. And it is handy to have a machine that'll help you do that. I'm gonna trim the last 2 plants today. I don't know what else I'm gonna do today. I need to work on my air conditioner, but it's not a need, and I think I'm at a point where I'm gonna take it all the way back apart and put it back together again to see if I can get it to seal correctly. Because the problem is I can't get vacuum in the compressor line. And I replaced the pipes twice, so it's got to be something in the connections. Like I know I didn't bend the pipes this time, so I don't know. It has to be in the connections. I even got some of that nylon glue to squeeze on the inside, and now I'm like, am I gonna be able to get it apart to redo it? Not to mention I put the thing on like a vice grip, so yeah, we'll see how that works. I put my seedlings in yesterday. I'll probably make a video about that too. I guess that is the key, is just to make lots of content. And the YouTube app has actually made that really easy for me, so maybe I will get better at doing that. I need to probably explore. Everybody says TikTok's the video editor there is really, really good, but I have not gotten into TikTok because I'm afraid it's going to suck my life away. You know, also it's Chinese. Not that I have anything wrong with Chinese people, but I don't know if I really want Chinese people controlling the social media algorithm for America. Like, the one that the Chinese people use, it is a much better algorithm, like, provides their citizens with healthy, positive things, and the one they're using here is tanking the country. Oh, you're like, oh, that can't be, like, a huge thing, but think about how many people are on TikTok. And think about how many people get their news from TikTok like it's fact. And I mean, maybe it's just because I've gotten to a point where I see the content creation side, so it's like, I could easily make videos that were sensationalized, but they wouldn't be true. And people get away with that by, like, putting a headline like, "Will Trump decapitate Biden?" Question mark. And then it gets all kinds of hits, and you're like, nah, not really, he would never do that, it's crazy. Technically, the CEO of TikTok is Singapore, not technically Chinese. But, I mean, the CCP owns the company that owns TikTok, regardless of where the CEO is from. The CCP owns the company. So, I mean, the CEO might be handling daily, everyday business, but the CCP could just as easily come in and be like, hey, just change the algorithm to make them Americans look at stupid shit. Okay, great. And then that was all they ever said. And TikTok is running a great business model, getting all the TikToks, making all the money. Why would they bother? He's probably doing a great job. I've seen him in the hearing trials. He seems like a very well put together guy, to be fair. But I wouldn't be surprised to find out he was a tool. If even, I mean, like, he's probably complicit. Do you think Singapore cares? Like, do you think Singapore cares if America's got good quality entertainment or factual information? So, It's a thing. I'm really pissed about the Supreme Court. I saw one little article. I haven't actually checked this morning. Forgive me. Extra coffee today. Supreme Court ruling. I thought on Jan 6th. Oh, see, that was something that was fake then. I got a notification, one of those news sources yesterday about the January 6th riot. Like the Supreme Court had already decided that they are providing a product to Americans and making money at it. I think TikTok is doing a great job from a business perspective. Oh, I agree. I mean, you act like it's making money. That's why I'm like, the guy who's the CEO is obviously brilliant. Like he's running a very, very good business model. But they obviously could be doing it in a more positive way. Because they are doing it on the Chinese version of TikTok. But I mean, if we're gonna like play to humanity's lesser basic instincts, like that's why TikTok's doing as well, because they watch people do stupid things, they watch people hurt themselves, they watch people you know, do these challenges and dances. Like it's just innocuous, like, it's just entertainment, which all of it is. But I at least feel like the YouTube side has a lot more of like how-to videos and educational information. Like you can choose to use YouTube as like an information source if carefully. Use your own instincts carefully. Use that as an instinct, as a tool. The reason I stopped using TikTok was for the sole purpose that when you hit the back button, it just plays another video as opposed to letting you exit the app. I feel like that I got trapped in that so many times. My ADHD, I was like, I gotta let this go because this is addictive. Like I would be wasting hours and hours of my life scrolling and then not even realize it. And I was like, damn. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still scroll on YouTube, I still scroll on Facebook, but like that gets to a point where I'm annoyed by something and I hit the back button and it goes away. TikTok, you're annoyed by something, you hit the back button, and something you're not annoyed by continues to keep you sucked in. And they use that information to target the algorithm, and it gets even worse. There's plenty of advice and tips section too on TikTok. It just depends on your algorithm. Yeah, but I mean, how long do they have long TikToks? TikTok is just like a 30-second format, right? They don't have the long videos. So like if you really wanted to get in depth and really wanted to find something, like a tips and tricks video is not gonna help you. Like I'm trying to figure out my air conditioner right now, and I've watched tons of tips and tricks videos. I've watched tons of installation videos. I've watched tons of doing the thing videos, and I still don't get it. I can't imagine that a 30-second clip would give you the same like information of at least a 5 to 10 minute video of you could watch the task over and over and over again. I don't know. Like it looks like I'm gonna have to get into TikTok to be a streamer. I mean, like my stream service keeps telling me I have to go to TikTok. Like it keeps bobbing up. Go viral, go vertical, go viral, go vertical. So is TikTok trying to do long live streams now? The longest I've seen is probably a minute. That's just how they're designed it for. That's what I'm saying. Like TikTok is killing the attention span. Like already the statistics, because you know I'm doing the research on how to make the videos more addictive too, because that's how America works. And like every 6 seconds you need something to change on your screen thing is because of TikTok. That's that it takes a minute. You got a minute video, and I mean like I love that people take trips and do like, oh, I travel for a living and I get to take this like, but that's a minute video that you took and you spent, you know, thousands of dollars to travel to this other place and to see new stuff. I don't know. I can't really badmouth TikTok, but of the platforms I choose to be on, TikTok is my last one, sure. I'm really hoping that YouTube takes off. And hey, HK, by the way, welcome in. I really didn't notice that it for some odd reason it put you and Silver in the same color on my chat, so I thought it was all those conversations were Silver. So I'm guessing that means that you guys are pretty avid TikTok users. And I mean, I don't think they could discontinue the service. I wish they would sell the service to an American company, but I don't know that that's going to make it automatically better. I mean, if they wanted to put on some regulations on an algorithm, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I think they could make a legislation that says things like algorithms should not ever recommend radicalized content. Just any way, shape, fashion, or form. Either side. If it's gonna cause derision, just don't show it. But like, if you want to go and find news and facts, you should have to go find news and facts. TikTok should be used for dancing and look at me, I just made bread. Look at me, I just, you know, there's lots of content you can make that's innocuous and does not affect people's opinions of war. Damn it. I yearn for the days when we only had news 1 hour a day. Like, I remember when I was a kid, we used to wake up and go about our lives, living every day, and then you sit down for dinner and watch the news. Catch up with what's going on in the world every day. And it was only important things, like all these little teeny tiny things that we keep reporting. Every blurb, every second happens is killing us all because people are awful, and we don't really need to know that. To be fair, like, we really want to think of humanity as a positive, because if we put it in a positive light and we think of humanity as good people, you're manifesting that in the universe. Like, I don't know, maybe I've mentioned before that my afterlife feel is that the like electrical impulses in your brain manifest what you think your afterlife is. And I think those electrical impulses affect others around us. Like, electricity, like, is a connection. I think we're all connected on a base level, and when we're all in a heightened sense of, oh god, the world's on fire, oh god, the world's on fire, and it just keeps perpetuating. Just like if you're in a room with somebody who's pissed, you're not going to feel like your best, because that person is radiating anger. At least on the chat side, Daedalus is purple and I am blue. Yeah, you're all blue. It usually, on my chat side, well, you know, I've got too many windows. Like, I have 3 windows open, right? And the one, I can show you. And the one that I'm looking at, you guys were all blue today. I don't know, it usually changes it as well, but everybody was blue. I don't know. So sorry, I have to pay more attention to my chat function. Which sucks, because I can't chat on the one that I'm looking at. I have to chat on the actual Twitch chat, which is in this window. I think it's because I don't pay for Streamlabs anymore. Like, when I was paying for Streamlabs, it had all kinds of things. Like, when you got Ultra, like, all the transitions and all the... Like, it had music, it had video editing, and all kinds of stuff you pay for it. And maybe if I get to a point where I'm making money enough off the channel to support... That'll be the first thing I pay for with channel money, is a better streaming service. But I already bought all kinds of stuff for streaming when I first started. Like, these $300 headphones were with the preface that I was going to make my living streaming. And I was like, oh, I really need a really good microphone for this. And I wanted the headphones anyway, and the Bose were a good idea. Which, if you haven't seen me do the headphone review, I definitely have done that many times on this channel, because I am an audiophile, I guess. I love sounds. And I will say the sound quality on the Bose headphones is spectacular. Spectacular. But I wouldn't recommend it for, like, your everyday person. I mean, I'm the kind of person that, like, listens to music for the sake of beats and rhythms and the syncopations. Like, I appreciate music for its everything. And I feel like a lot of people are... I like music for the lyrics, I like music for the beat, I like music for... I need a complete set to really make music work for me. and I constantly have something on. Constantly. Which I wonder doesn't affect our mental state as well. I'm probably not the only one in the universe who is just forever having something on in the background, like noise-wise. Why exactly? Like, and how do I keep hearing a Facebook notification but I don't have it open? Anyway. Ooh, train of thought derailed. I completely forgot what we were talking about. Hashtag marijuana. Tell me about it. Which is probably sane. I have said more than once in my life that the key to my long-term happiness is I forget stuff. I let it go. All of it. Everything. They're like, hey, you remember that thing last week? Nah. I live in the moment. I'm fairly present. Sometimes I live in my own head in the moment, but present nonetheless. Also, we didn't do our positive affirmation generation today. I love that. Positive affirmation generation. I don't know why I like saying that. Ooh, today's affirmation is I am intelligent and focused. Now, I want to say that you can now pin that, right? Hey, there he is. That was cool. I love it when things come together. I love it when things have a plan. If you're new to the channel, we do this every day. We get together, we talk about some positive things, we get off topic and rail. You can easily change the topic of the conversation by chatting something in there, and I will go off on a tangent on it, for sure. I know a little bit about everything. You got life questions, you got complication questions, you got just, I want some general advice in my life. Done. I'll give you all the fake money you want. You can have all the fake money. I mean, like, my account has tons of money in it. And has the ability to make tons of money very quickly. Fully leveled crafter. Fully leveled gatherer. I don't know, it's still, what's the level cap? Maybe they haven't raised the level cap since I played last, right? Are they gonna raise the level cap for, Dawn Trials? You know, seems like a bargain. Fake money for fake digital services. Fair enough. That's how the world's gonna work. That's the future. I will send you 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin. And yes, I consider Bitcoins to be, oh my god, up to 100. Jesus. I miss Final Fantasy XI. Final Fantasy XI was hard. It took time to accomplish anything. Everything you did in Final Fantasy XI felt like you just won the Olympics every time you got something. It was crazy. But I kind of miss it. Like, it gave me a challenge that wasn't, like, insurmountable. It just required time and dedication. And I made lots of great friends. And oh my god, I had so much drama. Otherwise, you can't gather some resources. Right, but I have a craft, which, you know, that killed me too. I mean, I guess you can always gather other stuff to get the guild to buy the things you need. But as somebody who likes to do shit themselves, when you get to that level of, oh, we just increased everything, you can't even gather the stuff you need without having to purchase the gathering gear, and I'm like, that's so dumb. Can I not gather a low quality of it, or can I not gather like less of it? That seems like a thing, like have a higher chance percentage of failure for gathering it, but the fact that I just can't even do it kills me. And we used to be able to, like, back in the day, like before they redid the gathering situation, when they rolled it out, that's what would happen. You would, the new nodes would pop up, and if you couldn't, it would give you like a percentage of whether you were gonna get it or not. And and it would just be, oh, well, there it is. I see it. I can tell what it is, but I have no idea how to gather it. And this one's like you don't even see it until they did a change, and I want to say it was a little while back, and I didn't care for it. And that's what, because it's like you have to that dungeon grind. I really hate grinding anything. Like, it's not even how I do my real life. I am ADHD to the max. I don't do anything for more than an hour in a row. And when y'all got this, like, we gotta sit here and do this same dungeon over and over and over again for like days, it makes me want to poke myself in the eye, and I'm paying money for that. I don't understand why. No, that's just me though. I mean, I know that's totally everybody's gimmick. That's the whole point of the game, and I see why they do that. But they should have let people, like, who didn't want to do that find some other way. Like, I feel like that really screwed us up when you were like, oh, well, you have to go do these dungeons, you have to go do this. Like, and I can't even get through the story quests without doing the dungeons. And I kind of wish there was like a crafter way to get by a dungeon. Like, oh, if you trade in so many pieces of armor, these adventurers will do it for you. Make me a Final Fantasy dev. I will help the non-combatants of us get through life in Final Fantasy. Well, I mean, that's true, but traditional grinding does. So, HK said, I mean, grinding doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend hours consecutively on one thing. Well, I mean, like, if I were to go into Final Fantasy and join a raid party and tell them at the beginning, I only have an hour, like, I'm only going to be doing this for an hour, regardless of whether I get my drop. If I get my drop and it's at 59 minutes, I'm not going to stay after the hour because I said I'm only staying for an hour. Do you think people would be pissed about that? I feel like I wouldn't get very many party invites. And I mean, maybe it's just because the people I play games with are hardcore. Like, Dr. Faustus can sit there for hours and hours and hours. But I mean, I liked the stories. I kind of wish, like, I could just watch the dungeons happen. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I wish there was a way that you could be a non-combatant and just kind of walk through the dungeons and be like, oh wow, look, oh neat. Like, at a party of adventurers, escort you through a dungeon would be great. Like, can I just pay a band of NPCs and have them clear the dungeon for me? Thank you. Thank you. All the loot's for mine because I traded in this 100 armors or whatever. I think it'd be a cool mechanic. So I can get to be a part of the story, I get to go and do stuff, but I don't have to worry about, like, dying and standing in the wrong place and pissing everybody off with making them die accidentally because I didn't do my job correctly. I don't know, there's pressure. And like, some days I'm in for it. Some days. Like, I play League of Legends, and it's a combatant game, and people are awful, and, you know, some days I'm just in the mood for some combat, and some days I'm just not. And there are certain dungeons in Final Fantasy that if I never had to do ever again, it would be too soon. Outram Vale. Even if they redid it, I still think it's stupid. Or what's the castle one with all the ice elementals and the dragons that drop out of the ceiling? Fucking hate that one too. Or the guy in the circle. That's that big massive dungeon where you have the Alliance raid, where there's a big alien and the thing in the circle that everybody has to stand in just the right spots at just the right time, or the whole raid wipes. Forget the name of that one too. But ugh. Well, they have NPCs that will go with you through the dungeon, and I definitely used I definitely played that when like most time. The first couple of times I went through a dungeon, I would do it with the NPCs, just so I would feel more comfortable before I did it with somebody else. And that's nice. I like that idea too. So, I mean, they obviously have the technology. Can't they just make it a party of 5 and let you go with the NPCs? I think it'd be fun. I want to pay some mercenaries to clear a thing for me. Stone Vigil is the dragon one. What's the big mega raid one with the guy in the middle? Turns. I'm talking about. Everybody hates that. Temple of something. A lot of temples, dungeons. I forget. But you know what I'm talking about. I hate that one. Hate that one. So I'm less stressed out now. I really thought this whole podcast was going to be Supreme Court. 6 folk. Glad that hasn't happened yet, but still terrified it's going to come for me. And I think it was a Democratic fault in the first place. Why did they charge these people with, like, breaking and entering, destruction of government property, like real normal crimes? Legal semantics. The only reason I dislike that dungeon is you're the holy spam. You're the white mage that's just the holy spam. Me too. That's whenever I was in a dungeon, I would Kurigatu and holy, just what I did. Kurigatu, holy, Kurigatu, holy. Everybody's got regain. You get regain. You get regain. You get regain. Every once in a while, you throw in that insta heal everybody, damage everybody, spam spell. I liked White Mage. As far as like easy to play, I think White Mage is probably easiest, but also like you do it poorly. People, maybe not now. I feel like they've added in a whole lot of like self-healing skills and you keep yourself alive through some crazy bits. Maybe not now. Ouch. I just burned myself. Whew. But you know, that's what I mean by I miss Final Fantasy XI. Like, in Final Fantasy XI, I can't tell you how many times I wiped a part 11. I started out playing a rogue, and they were the pullers, because the way it worked in Final Fantasy XI was you went to dungeon-type areas, which were like just zones in the map that had a high spawn rate, like caves, you went into tunnels, and spawn thing randomly around you, and you have to pull them back to your camp, and your friends. Hey, back Costa, what up? Uh-oh, I just had like electrical fire. Hold on. Okay, well, that was eventful. Well, that was eventful. I really could have burned the place down. Fair enough. If I had not been sitting here, that happened. I mean, looks like my drop cord shorted out. I do have a lot of power going through one drop cord. I had been worried about that. But it's a heavy-duty drop cord. I mean, it's supposed to carry the amperage I needed. Anyway, that is a problem for later today. Yay! Excitement! You know, and I've been having there's been like whiffs of burning plastic the past couple days. Like, you know, you can kind of sort of smell it. And I've been looking for what I bet it's been shorting out for the past couple days, and I just happened to catch it on camera today. Can't wait to go back and rewatch that. Gonna have to make that a highlight on the stream. I almost burned down my greenhouse. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. Good morning. I mean, it's a good thing I was trimming them down anyway, so I have tomatoes inside the greenhouse still. That's why I opened the tent, because at least they can get light from the window. It's gonna be a very dim day for the tomatoes, I think. I may just have to order specific heavy-duty. Oh, yeah, you know that, for that matter, I have receptacles in the ceiling, out about. Should probably use some of those. Oh my. My problem being that I'm using solar panels. And would y'all be interested in seeing a video about the solar panel setup? Didn't make one. That I do not. I'm gonna like have to have all kinds of warnings and be like, please do not burn down your house. Make sure if you're gonna put things that might blow up, they're not next to flammable surfaces. Because that, I mean, like, that plug is not actually even touching anything. So had an actual fire happened, might have got hot enough to, it's close enough to the tent. But the tent is supposed to be flame retardant as well. So we just won't mention today that I almost burned down. So how's Bat Coaster? How are things in your world? Ugh. I also forgot I haven't cleaned. The new crop is peppery. And I'm trying different methods of curing. So I've got like a big curing rack over here inside that I'm also using. And I've got some that are in a refrigerator, and I have some that are in a freezer. Because I'm curious as how best to keep it. It'll make it last the longest. But I want it to keep its moisture, retain some of the moisture, so it keeps some of the weight. That was when I was, the previous crops I've been trying, you sell it by weight. So like, don't want to over dry it, because then it weighs nothing. Giving away like handfuls of it for pittance. So it's important to keep the humidity in it for the curing process. Your experts say you have to keep it at 62% humidity for 2 weeks. And the struggle is getting it to be at that 62%. So like, the experts recommend you put your buds in a jar after you've let it dry in a drying rack for a couple days. You put a temperature, like a humidity sensor in the jar, so you can see if it's higher or lower. I also bought these like Bonavita packs or humidity control packs that are supposed to like regulate that, and they're not that great. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm leaving them in there long enough. I'm still just pulling it apart. Maybe once it gets into that 62, it should stay. But I mean, like, I'm not sure what the difference is. If I have it in a sealed container and it was in 62 at the time, the moisture should not change. So it seems superfluous. actually getting it to its curing the correct way versus cheating with the axe. I'm not sure it matters all that much as far as the quality of it goes. I personally think that type of marijuana you get depends on when you harvest it. When it's sativa, you should harvest it closer to the end of its life. That, like, as soon as it starts to show that the plant has naturally ended its life cycle, that's when you trim it. A lot of folk wait until the buds have turned nice purpley. Like, I just bought Granddaddy Purp, so it's supposed to turn purple early. That just the name implies that they want you to harvest it once it's grown into those like autumny colors. Like, if you set a plant, like if you take a marijuana plant and literally just keep watering it until it dies, the whole thing will turn this beautiful like purpley yellow. Like, I mean, I think the plant is pretty when it's like in full ripe bloom. And I mean, a lot of people would say it stinks. I gotta say, when I'm in here trimming it, the whole building reeks. You can smell it miles away. I feel it. I sat down in the house, like the main house, after doing a day of trimming yesterday, and Mom's like, "Oh, I'm across the room, and she can smell me." It's a thing. It's a thing. So what's on everybody's agenda today? Have we all set forth our intentions and our goals for what we're going to get accomplished today? That's how you start your days every day. Affirm that today I am intelligent and focused. I am intelligent and focused. I see. You just got off work a little bit, right? What are your goals in Final Fantasy today? Maybe I'm being too goal-oriented. It's very capitalistic-y. You don't have to accomplish anything today if you don't feel like it. Human. I mean, I'm sure there are some things you have to get done, but ain't none of my business to tell you what they are and when to get them done. So don't listen to me. I just am a productive beaver by nature. I need to look back at the end of my day and go, what did I get done today? What did I get done today? I need to fix my bathroom, because I have to drill a hole in the wall, put a pipe outside of that, and trying to clear a savage version. All the pretty sparkles. All the pretty sparkles. I mean, if you're watching a Final Fantasy battle and have never been inside Final Fantasy, you're probably looking like, is this what magic is going to look like? Like, it's pretty, but when you got 100 people doing all those pretty flashy spells, it looks like... I know you can turn it off, but I don't, because it's not fun. And I can't ever hit anything, but you know, tab target, just tab and throw some things, it's fine. It's fine. Play a DPS, they only need like 4 of them anyway. And that's what kills me about Final Fantasy sometimes, is you never get to play the characters you like unless you want to wait for hours. Like, that's like, you get to your leveling bit, and all the DPS jobs that there are in the world need to get leveled to the same that you need. So you need tanks and healers to make all that happen. So all of my tanks and healers are leveled, but nothing else is. It's just so easy to pop in and do a queue instantly. That kind of thing. Healer tank. But then, and you get better rewards because they're always the volunteer in need for your roulettes. So you're like, oh, I get better rewards for getting those higher. Not to mention, I love Paladin. It's definitely one of my favorite job classes. But, boring after a while. But they all are. I guess that was the whole point. Once you figure out the rotation, and like, when you can Google everything and just look it up. Like, oh, this is the perfect rotation. Somebody's already figured that out. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. There it is. Mastered. I think I've gotten pretty good at tanking higher level dungeons. It's what, like, I chose to use Paladin. Are y'all both playing Final Fantasy right now? HK should be going to bed. You know he needs his beauty sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna try to game sleepy. Oh, good. You both need sleep. Thanks for staying up. I'm glad I can end your day on a positive note. Like, I hope you guys have sweet dreams. Sweet dreams are made of thee. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Flashbacks. Just in my car in the 90s. Everybody is looking for something. Yeah, right. That was me in the 90s. Just jamming out. I'm also a walking jukebox. I feel like every time somebody cues me up with the right word, I can generate a song. Sometimes gets annoying to people. It's gotten much better now that I can just play it on YouTube instead of trying to sing it. A lot of times I will attempt to sing a song and I'll be like, oh wait, let me let you hear the real song. This is what it actually sounds like. It's a great song. And whatever, I just, dance away to it. I wanna dance with somebody. That's what I hear every time somebody says the word dance. Oh, that'd be a fun game to play. Word song association. Like, what song pops into your head when I say the word love? So many songs about love. What's the one that you think of when I say the word? Song association. Mine's probably Find Me Somebody to Love by Queen. That would be my first song. It's love in it. The love boat, something exciting and new. It's waiting for you on the love boat. I got the so long ago. Why do I remember that song? Like, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I can remember the Love Boat from the 60s. Have y'all ever heard the term Mind Palace? I was at a conference or meeting, I forget where actually, but this was a real life thing. I was in person, and we were talking about finding how people think, and they were like, oh, I use the analogy for a mind palace. So like my mind palace is when I go internal in my brain and think about how the information is organized in my brain. That's my mind palace. Like, what do you see when if you were like, pretend like you close your eyes and envision like inside of your brain, like I'm looking for a piece of information. I know it's in here. I know I've seen it. I know I was a human being and it stored it somewhere in my brain. Where is it? So I'm visualizing a space in my brain that I can like sort through file cabinets that are organized by year, then by month, then by Kylie Minogue's Love at First Sight. I don't know that one. Don't know. And I was gonna play it, but then it would get me a flag on YouTube. Maybe not such a great game. I didn't think of that. First Sight. Wow, there's a lot of things named Love at First Sight. I do know who Kylie Minogue is. Thought that I was going crazy, just having one of those days. Didn't know what to do, and there was you. Everything went from wrong to right, and the stars came out, filled up the sky. Music you were playing, my mind, it's love at first sight. Because baby, when I heard you, first time I knew we were meant to be as one. Was tired of running out of luck, thinking about giving up, yeah, didn't know what to do, then there was you. I can't believe this is not clicking any buttons for me. I can't, like, most of the time I'm not going to hear it. I may have never ever heard the song. Sometimes. I will save it and I will listen to it later. I know who she is. I enjoy music. I will have to check it out. But obviously I can't do it on the stream. Sad days. Maybe one day. In case anybody didn't hear, I am having the first annual Harvest Festival in my home on May 11th. If anybody wants to come, you can reach out to me in the Discord. I'll send you addresses and details and things. Not crazy. We have some limited beds, plenty of camping space. Bring a tent. Come on out. I did. I totally saved it. I will have it. Be like, this is how we're gonna do like TwitchCon. We'll just do TwitchCon at my house. Sounds great, right? Plan. Good plan. Be like, nobody step on the fresh plants. That's why you all came, was to look at the plants. Don't kill the plants. Early 2000s year of pop music. I mean, I love Kylie Minogue. She has, if I could, I don't know why I can't think of a song that she has that I'm sure I know of her that I could be like, oh, I bet there's a Kylie Minogue song I can sing. Oh, she's got the "Can't Get You Out of My Mind." It's that one. I wonder how many seconds I can get before I get a copyright tick. It's probably like 5. Say that was your taste. See if that gets me a copyright strike. This is the one I know. That was 5 seconds. Are you guys? I feel like that was, what was that TV show? They were doing that. It had Wayne Brady was the host. It was like, don't forget the lyrics, I think was the name of that game show. And they had people that they would play the song and who could get it first. Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. Now that's gonna be in your head all day. You're welcome. Are you advocating for people to come to your place and pitch a tent? Yeah, sure. We're in that kind of country. Sure. As long as you don't stay for more than 3 days. House guests and fish. More than 3 days. Would it be the first time that anybody has ever pitched a tent here at my house? Nope. We've had many parties here. We throw bonfires. And, like, as a kid, it was the kind of thing. We had lots of family in the area. but some of them lived like 30 to 45 minutes away, so they would come and pitch a tent in the front yard, or backyard, or in the side woods, or one of the fields if it was winter. Yep, they didn't winter. We have like mobile home hookups on the outside of the house because we used to have an uncle who lived in a trailer in the yard. This is before I was born. Like, my parents were both families of 6. So, like, there was 12 aunts, uncles, brother. Like, they were all basically of an age, and had grew up in the same town. Like, don't forget that I grew up in like, my graduating class was 60 people, and it was the same 60 people that I went to kindergarten with. Imagine what my parents' life was like. There was 12 of them. They went to school with their brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles, and when they had parties and stuff, they didn't, it was a different time. They didn't have cars like we did. Like, it's weird to think of my mother's, like, childhood. So she, like, 50 years ago, they didn't really have, like, she didn't have a car. Her family had one, and they all went to work. Like, I think her dad went to work or something in, like, one of the coal mines or factory. I have to ask her. Did the music just get loud? Is that just me? I feel like the music just got loud. Maybe because I was like, wait, I don't really know what my grandfather did. I know they had cattle. I mean, maybe he had to use it to go to where he kept the cattle, because we don't have enough grazing land cattle here. And I think they keep the cattle down by the river. So he probably had to go and go to the slaughterhouse and butcher, go to where the cattle was raised. But I mean, that was like the one truck that the neighborhood shared. They all picked each other up, dropped each other off, and used it collectively. So if you had a gathering, bring everybody in the truck, pile their stuff in, and like the Clampets from Beverly Hillbillies. We're the Beverly Hillbillies without the Beverly part. Rural America. Which is not bad. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not complaining. I love to camp. Have you seen all the glamping accessories they have nowadays? I've been deployed on disasters, and they expect you to stay in these like staff shelters. I would much rather pitch a tent in the woods, hang a hammock in the woods, than try to sleep in a just like large room, 100 people. So I have been looking into purchasing a single person tent. One of those air mattressy things that I can fit in my suitcase. But suitcase space is limited. I've been looking to buy one. Surprisingly, like, smaller packed ones are the more expensive ones. I guess you have to have engineering that make that happen. Why they're more expensive. I don't know if I've gotten to a point where I want to spend $200 on a tent that I take to deployments. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So looks like we're coming up here to our hour mark. Let's revisit our daily affirmation generator. I'm intelligent and focused. It's good. We all are. Everybody has the intelligence and the focus to get done what they want to get done today. If that is nothing, great. Have a wonderful day of doing nothing. If you want to get the world done today, you do that too. Great day doing that as well. As long as you're happy, as long as you're making progress, every step is in the right direction. As long as there's breath, there's hope for a better tomorrow. Don't forget to love yourselves. Go forth, prosper. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
YouTuber ever I totally forgot to mention. Subscribe, follow him on. Nobody's watching it at this point. I've already stopped the recording.